Hello everyone, welcome to today's live IELTS class. First live IELTS class for us of 2019. Happy New Year's to everybody who's observing the Gregorian calendar, and welcome to 2019. All right, so today we're focusing on IELTS speaking part 3. Good to see so many students joining. Hi Rock Khan, hi Siraj, hi Kai. I saw a new member in at the beginning of class as well. That's fantastic. Our materials are coming from our websites for academic IELTS. Check us out at aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com. I'll put the URL up here so you can refer to it anytime. And for general IELTS, please check us out at gieltshelp.com. That's general IELTS help.com, where we have lots of materials, 6 full practice exams, an interactive course, over 100 hours of video lessons for a very, very, very low price. Well worth the small investment to pass IELTS the first time, not have to pay another $300 US and go through all that stress. So check us out, aehelp.com, academic, gieltshelp.com. General, thank you for the salutations, Ivna. Sami, good to see you as well. All right, so if you're looking for our app, go to your iTunes or Play Store, look for our Shield, type in Academic IELTS Help. You can also get our exam books from Amazon, AE Helps Academic IELTS, or GE Helps General IELTS. If you go to our websites, they look like this. This one's the general with the green background. Click on that big red button to join it. And then this is what the academic looks like with the blue background. Click on that red button to join it. Lots of materials there for you. If you go to your My Student account, then you will, once you're logged in, be able to access speaking with other students or with professional native English teachers. There's a student partner speaking. You click on that. It's like Skype or WhatsApp. You can find other students. Just keep the window open. Wait for them to join if you don't see one right away. And with this yellow button, you can book a practice interview with a native English speaker. So check that out as well. All right. One more. Oh, yeah. If you have questions about our products or any of our services or IELTS, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. That's my name, adrian@aehelp.com. And then here's our schedule for our live streaming. So today we are doing speaking part 3. Tomorrow we'll focus on some reading strategies, then listening practice on Saturday, and a members chat class on Sunday. No class on the 7th and the 8th, and then back on the 9th again for speaking part 1 and 2. You can check out the rest of the schedule on our YouTube channel in our community. It's posted there as well. Let's get to this IELTS speaking interview practice. Let's start with some of the first questions when you go to your IELTS speaking interview. Now, ladies and gents, there's a good number of you watching. There's over 250 of you watching this live stream, which is fantastic. And I know you can hear me. I want to imagine that you're also repeating what I say. This is speaking practice, so please repeat the questions and the answers that I'm giving, the corrections that I give when you answer in the comments. So repeat nice and loud with your voice, aloud. Don't just mumble. Okay, mumbling is terrible. Don't mumble. Nice and loud, nice and clear. All right. So the speaking interview, about 10 to 12 minutes. You go and you get to the speaking interview about 1 hour before it starts. Yes, if your speaking interview is at 8 o'clock in the morning, get there at 7 o'clock in the morning, okay? It's really important for your brain to have time to warm up, be fully ready to go when the examiner begins asking you questions. So practice speaking English the night before and the morning of, before you sit down face to face with the examiner. Go 1 hour early, find a speaking partner, find a person who's there for the exam, take some questions with you, and ask questions back and forth, okay? Remember, you walk into the exam room, you need to be calm. You're not going to do any better or worse than you will actually do. What happens at that point will happen either way. So don't be stressed. Remember, you're breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't turn purple, fall over. That's not good for speaking scores. Okay? You're just a number, and that's not to be rude. You literally have an IELTS examinee number. And that's all you are to the examiner. You're not special, okay? You're not their wife or their husband. They don't care too much about you other than giving you a score. So don't be worried about being embarrassed or saying bad words or wrong words or mispronouncing. It doesn't matter, okay? To them, you're just a number. Stay calm. Imagine that the examiner is your grandpa or your grandma so that you speak respectfully, clearly, completely, and you remember that they don't know what you know, okay? So you're speaking to your grandfather, you're speaking to your grandmother, they love you, they will forgive you if you make mistakes. Don't be nervous, all right? And I'm there with you in spirit as well. All right, let's start off. So speaking interview part 1, you walk into that room and the examiner will most likely say something like, welcome, please take a seat. What can you answer for that, or what should you say? You shouldn't just be quiet and look like a deer caught in headlights of a car with big eyes staring at the examiner like, oh, okay. That's not good, so just be comfortable. What should you say when the examiner says, please take a seat? So what does the student say? Naveen says thank you. Yeah, just thank you or thanks. All right, absolutely. Okay. It's the most common response to that in the English language. So thank you. Of course is okay or each, but just thank you is fine. Mahe, good to see a new member. All right, and then the examiner will start with, may I see your identification, please? What should you say to that? I'm always surprised how many students say something strange to that question. May I see your identification, please? Keep it simple. Don't say anything weird, okay? Unmarvelous would be kind of awkward for that first question. Here you go, or yes, sure, sir. Here you go. Sure, sir is a bit awkward. Yes, sir, here you are. Or madam. You can also say, please take a look. Okay, so those are good. Repeat after me, nice and loud. May I see your identification? Yes, sir, here you are. Yes, of course, please take a look. Yes, madam, please have a look. Okay, so all of those are good. Yes, sure is okay. It's a little bit less formal, James Simon, but it's okay. Yes, sure, why not is a little bit awkward, Marasa, in that context. Why not? It seems like it would be up to you. So that would be a bit strange in the context, Marasa, the why not. Because if I were the examiner in my mind, I would be kind of laughing and thinking, yes, of course, why not? You have to show it to me, otherwise I can't do the interview. So don't say why not. It's kind of funny, okay? So yes, madam, here you are. Yes, please have a look. Or yes, sure. It's less formal, but it's still okay. What is your full name? They will ask you that. They will match your name with your exam number and your passport. Absolutely, please have a look. Ashish is good for the previous question. What is your full name? Lots of good ways to answer this. They will always ask you what they should call you, so you should include that. Okay, you should always include what they should call you. Mahe says, my name is Mahendra, and you can call me Mahe. They'll ask you, Mahe, for your family name as well. So they'll say, what is your family name? So you need to say, my name is Mahendra Singh, and you can call me Mahe. Okay. Parth says, my surname is Desai, and my given name is Parth. Please just call me by my given name. That will work, okay? So those will work. My surname is Parth, or sorry, I missed it. I'm just going to go with Singh. And my given name is Parth. Please just call me Parth, okay? And if you have a nickname, you can use your nickname, or please just call me by my given name. Careful using first name and last name. In English, our first names are usually our given names. In many other cultures, our first names are often our family names, so that can be a little bit confusing. So pay attention to that, okay? All right, let's go to the next question. So the examiner at this point will say something along the lines of, the speaking has 3 parts. For part 1, I'd like to get to know you a little bit better and ask you some questions on a general topic. So when they say I'd like to get to know you a little bit better, it means they will ask you some icebreakers. Icebreakers are meant to make you feel comfortable, confident. There should be easy questions, questions that you're well practiced and prepared for before you begin. Thanks, Parth, for the decile. Make that correction there real quick. There. So the examiner will ask you, what do you do in your free time? It's a very common question. What do you do in your leisure time, or what do you do in your free time? You should have a preloaded, very nice answer here that's giving a good first impression for the examiner. It's letting the examiner feel that, okay, this student is confident, this student is fluent, this student practiced, this student knows English vocabulary and knows English grammar. Okay, so even though it might seem trivial, careful. Sometimes students take this question too lightly, and they just say, oh, I like to play soccer, or I like to play football, and they think that's enough, but it's not. Okay, Sithalanu Michael says, well, in my free time, I usually visit my friends and have a chat with them. Not have some chat with them, Michael. That's wrong, and you don't want to make mistakes in these icebreaker questions. Mahe says, I generally surf tech videos on YouTube to learn more about up-and-coming technologies in my free time. It is not only my hobby, but in line with my work as well. Mahe, that was good. I added a little bit more. I added a correlative conjunction. Not only is it my hobby, but also in line with my work, an expression. So you'll be getting a higher score. All right. Lena Al-Huzban says, I love doing some yoga online with an incredible teacher named Adrian and reading some novels. Lena, I think I might know the yoga teacher Adrian you speak of. I've watched a lot of yoga videos myself online, and that's a good answer. Okay, so that's a solid answer. In my leisure time, so here right away I'm showing some paraphrasing instead of free time, leisure time. That right away shows lexical resource that you're getting graded on. So in my leisure time, I like to work out and read books. Just this morning, I went for an 8-kilometer run and read a chapter from Lord of the Rings. All right. So notice what I just did here. Again, I'm always pushing you to practice for those higher and higher band scores, okay? Band 8 Band 9. Hussein, my name is Adrian. You'll find that in my email as well, adrian@aehelp.com. Okay, notice this. So what do you do in your free time? So paraphrasing in my leisure time, right away I start with the topic, the subject of the question to show that I am clear on what's being asked. I like to work out and read books. Okay, work out, I'm using phrasal verb for exercise. Read books. And then without saying for example or for instance, I go right into an example so the examiner doesn't realize and won't cut me off. Just this morning, I went for an 8-kilometer run. Look at that quantitative language. So right away, numbers, 8-kilometer run. I don't just say long run. I say 8-kilometer run. It gives a very clear picture. 8-kilometer run, and read a chapter from Lord of the Rings. Okay, so very specific, quick example to back up my answer. And that's how you get good scores. Okay. Nguyen Hung Kam Han says, in my leisure time, I like to go and read a book. For example, yesterday I read I'm Gifted, So Are You, which was written by Adam Khoo, who is a famous entrepreneur in Singapore. Cam Khan, not bad. You have a couple of mistakes there. Careful about that. Review that. Okay, good. So still on to icebreakers here. Let's go to the next question. How did you get to the exam today? Okay, this is kind of a new one, but you never know. You might be asked something specific like this one. How did you get to the exam today? Okay, answer that question for me. Again, remember, it seems like a simple question, and it is, but giving a simple answer might not be the best idea. So if you say something like, I walked, okay, so I walked, and then you just kind of stare at the examiner like, yeah, I got your question, and yeah, you just understood me, I walked, okay. The examiner will say, they're not going to say anything, they'll just make a mark, and they'll go, okay, and they'll continue on, but you really haven't shown much, okay. Even a student who has beginner level English will be able to say, I walked, so you want to do more. You want to use these icebreakers to warm yourself up a bit, get yourself comfortable, confident. So say a little bit more than just I walked, or as Yasser Shabra says, by my car. Okay, that's not going to do enough, all right? Abdel Wahab says, this morning I took the general transportation to college, well, to this exam, right? Not to the college. And general transportation is not the correct way to express it. We say public transportation or mass transport. And in that case, you should say, did you take the train, the bus, the tram, the trolley, or all of them, the subway? Okay, so you want to be more specific. Okay. Amjad says, well, first of all, I had to wait for the bus. Then I thought it might be better to take a taxi because I didn't want to be late. So I called one. I missed kind of the rest of it. There was some awkward language there. Okay. Naveen says, well, I got here by cab, which I booked on Uber, and it took approximately 30 minutes. It was comfortable and hassle-free. All right, Naveen, just watch your wordiness, okay? To reach here is awkward, incorrect. It's not natural expression, and it's not necessary. Okay, so take that out, all right? Well, I got here by cab, which I booked on Uber. It took approximately 30 minutes and was quite comfortable and hassle-free. That's all you need to say, Naveen. Students that are watching, and now there's a really great band of you. There's over 300 of you watching, which is fantastic. When I'm correcting other students in the chat, definitely repeat what I'm saying, okay? Pay attention to their mistakes because you might be making the same mistakes. So pay attention to mistakes and repeat the corrections. Remember, this is speaking. I really want to believe that you are repeating and saying these sentences nice and loud or loudly, okay? All right. Surya Baraki says, My brother just dropped me off because the exam center is about 25 kilometers from my house, and I was a little bit nervous, so he really helped me out. Okay? My brother just dropped me off, Surya. You have to say drop me off because drop off is the full phrasal verb. So if you miss that off, you're making a mistake. The examiner's catching that. Okay? All right, sure. I'll take that one. My parents dropped me off about an hour ago at the exam. My dad drove our family van this morning to help me out since he saw that I was nervous and in a bit of a panic. Sure. So my parents dropped me off an hour ago at the exam. My dad drove our family van this morning to help me out since he saw that I was nervous and in a bit of a panic. All right, look at that sentence. It's natural. It includes a phrasal verb, drop off. It includes quantitative language, hour ago. Okay, it's visual. My dad drove not just our car, but our family van. So you're using lexical resource here. You're being more specific. Okay, to help me out, help out. Again, another phrasal verb. Since he saw that I was nervous and in a bit of a panic. Bit of a panic, natural expression. Since he saw is a subordinating conjunction of cause and effect, which is definitely being recognized by the examiner. All of that put together, what are you doing? You're producing natural, complex, coherent language, even in that icebreaker. So you're doing a great job. You're getting a great band score. Okay, that's how it's done. That's how you get those band 8s and 9s. You don't give the examiner a chance to cut you off. You give a full answer, and then you stop, okay? You don't just keep talking. All right. So, again, we're focusing on part 3 today. Part 3 comes after part 2, and it follows the same kind of topic. Now, if any of you watched our part 2 speaking from last week, you'll remember that we talked about meeting or knowing a smart person. So today we will continue with part 3, which is let's talk about intelligence. Okay, we're going to talk about intelligence. Before we get into part 3, we want to focus on good paraphrasing. Everybody knows what paraphrasing is. Paraphrasing is key in the IELTS to get a high band score. It's important for all sections. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Everybody knows what paraphrasing means. And even more importantly, everybody knows the different strategies of paraphrasing. What are they? What are the different ways to paraphrase? Yeah, Abdel Wahab, I think you'd managed to say exactly what I wrote. Paraphrasing is to tell. I said to express, but yeah, the same ideas using different words. Sure. And what are they? Okay, what are those different words? Preeti says using synonyms. Yeah, absolutely. So there's generally about 5 techniques that are very important to know for IELTS. So synonyms is one. Okay, use your thesaurus at home so you learn a lot of synonyms. Make it easy with Lilu says different sentence structure. Saying that in a more easy way, make it easy, Lilu. Grammar. Yes, grammar can be used to paraphrase, or in another way, using a different sentence structure. Kind of ironic having the name Make It Easy with Lulu. But Make It Easy with Lulu is actually applying a type of paraphrasing to saying grammar, which is descriptive paraphrasing. So descriptive paraphrasing is exactly what Lulu did by saying, using different kinds of sentence structure, which is a description of grammar. Naveen and Preeti, you're right. Antonyms and negatives. So two negatives will make a positive. And it is a very common type of paraphrasing. So don't go can be used to say stay here. Okay, stay here, don't go anywhere. Pretty much the same, and it is paraphrasing. And the fifth way is expressions. Expressions include everything like idioms, phrasal verbs, different kinds of literary devices, maybe grouped under that. So those are expressions, and you can use expressions to paraphrase as well, like drop somebody off at school means to drive them and take them there. So that's a good one as well, okay? All right, so definitely you want to focus on that. If you are able to paraphrase the examiner's questions and your answers, explanations, examples, your band score will surely climb higher and higher as you keep doing that question after question. Okay, use adjective clauses. Adjective clauses, descriptive language. People who are intelligent tend to earn a lot of money. Okay, people who are intelligent is your adjective clause. Which, who, where, when, and then the description. Adjective clauses are very, very useful to give details to your responses in your IELTS speaking and to push your score up. Again, that will add to the component of complex language. Okay, so using complex language. All right. And then last but not least, so this is what we're focusing on today in these part 3, okay? Last but not least, we're going to incorporate like and as. Many students have mentioned recently that, especially in part 3, when they try to squeeze examples in for their explanations, they often find that the examiner is cutting them off and just jumping to the next question. So as soon as the examiner hears, for example, I met this really intelligent guy last week, and then boom, the examiner says, okay, I'm just going to go to the next question. They start asking that next question. So a sneakier, stealthier way to get your example in for your explanation and keep your speech more fluid and cohesive is to use the words like and as, okay, like and as. So leading into the example with that. So people who are intelligent earn a lot of money, like my friend Jim that works for a software company and makes over $1 million a year. Boom, I got my adjective clause in there. I got my example Jim in there. I even got a quantitative piece of information of $1 million in there. I just spewed that out in under 5 seconds, and you bet you that that examiner is going to say, hey, they're not going to say that, but they're going to mark on their paper, great answer, band 8, band 9, okay? So make sure to use like and as. These two words are your friends, okay? Get that in there. Get that in there. All right. So let's practice these strategies. Again, this is speaking. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Repeat me. Repeat the questions. And do repeat the corrections of your fellow classmates as I read out what they put into the comment stream. Don't be shy. Comment, okay? Comment. It's okay if you are not as great as the other student who's commenting. Worry about yourself. Do not worry about others. That's a very important tip for success in IELTS as well. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about other students or what the examiners are doing. All right, here we go. Let's talk about intelligence. What makes a person intelligent? Now, you see the second question, is this always true? They might not ask you that right away. They might wait for you to start giving this answer and then cut in with a follow-up question of, is this always true? So what makes a person intelligent? Okay. What makes a person intelligent? Intelligent. What makes a person intelligent? And if you find that that's a difficult question, hey, don't panic. Ask for time. That's an interesting question. Give me a moment to think about a good answer for it. So Reet Kumar says, why are you surprised? I'm not sure what that's for. Amjad Ali says, creativity and leadership. Amjad, you want to at least put that into a full sentence. So I find that a person is intelligent when they have leadership and creativity skills. Okay. Mahe says education makes a person intelligent. Okay. And say, in my opinion, education is a key factor which makes a person intelligent. Like my friend Tim, who has 2 PhDs and is one of the smartest people I know. Josh Shield says it's education and experience, but again, you want to put that into a full sentence, like Thura Ali did before. Thura, you retracted your message. I thought that was good. I was going to go over that. Okay, Juan Paulo says, I think that a person shows their intelligence through beliefs and attitudes. Juan Paulo, beliefs and attitudes kind of seem repetitive. Stick with one and explain it more. Okay, so if I were the examiner there, Juan Paulo, I'd be like, what do you mean by that? Or can you expand on that? Okay. Naveen says, well, I believe logical thinking and the ability to make the right decisions makes a person an intellectual. However, this may not be true all the time. Okay, sure. Abdel Wahab says, that's a weird question. May I have a minute to think? Weird or wired? I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. It's a bit awkward. I would say that's an unusual question, or that's a difficult question. I wouldn't say weird, though. Okay? It's a bit off. All right. Here's my answer for it. Well, that's a bit of a tough question. Which can have many answers. Do give me a moment to think, please. I suppose my definition of an intelligent person would be one who is quick to adapt in novel situations. Like my friend Sarah, who got lost in the woods, but was able to orient herself because she is smart and knows which way is north and south. Okay. So getting kind of fancy, but still a very good question. Or a very good answer. I probably wouldn't want to say too much more after this because I am in the danger zone of going off topic, but really pushing you to get that example in there, okay? It's very, very important that you squeeze those examples and make your responses more visual, more robust, okay? So repeat after me. Well, that's a bit of a tough question, which can have many answers. Do give me a moment to think, please. One more time on that. Well, that's a bit of a tough question, which can have many answers. Do give me a moment to think, please. I suppose my definition of an intelligent person would be one who is quick to adapt in novel situations, like my friend Sarah, who got lost in the forest but was able to orient herself because she is smart and knows which way is north and south. Okay? Right away, using like to get that example in there, who is quick to adapt, getting an adverbial clause in there as well, and pushing the score nice and high. Okay? That's what we're focusing on. Don't forget that, okay? So remember the focus of today, good paraphrasing. Use the synonym, the grammar, the descriptive language. Using adjective clauses, which, who, where, when, and incorporating like and as. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next question here. Some people feel that being very intelligent can also be a burden. Do you agree with this notion? All right. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, what does the word burden mean? And what does the word notion mean? So here, you need to think quickly if you're not sure of the meaning of these words, okay? Some people feel that being very intelligent can also be. Finish it without the word, okay? And if you're finishing it with the word difficult, you're on the right track. So that's how you need to figure out in context what the question is asking. So here, if you didn't understand burden and notion, then you can replace these with words you feel complete the sentence. Some people feel that being very intelligent can be difficult. Do you agree with this idea? If you replace the words with difficult and idea, you've done a great job, okay? And you've figured out what the question is asking you. That's how you can reflect on questions where you may not know a couple of the words. You need to practice that strategy or that skill before you sit the IELTS so that you can do it in real time very quickly, okay? Burden means to be difficult, to be challenging, okay? So while explaining that to you, I hope some of you are coming up with the answer, okay? Sithalanu Michael says, indeed, it is a true fact because people always depend on intelligent individuals to have their problems solved. Sithalanu, you're doing a good job. Just don't repeat the word people. That's where paraphrasing is so important. Okay, you don't want to say because people always depend on intelligent people. It's kind of awkward because people always depend on intelligent individuals. Sounds much better, okay? All right. Yarika Domelo says, in some cases, it is true as people can really depend on intelligent individuals for solving their problems, and it can be a burden to have these responsibilities. Yarika, I appreciate your compliment saying depend on you on solving some problems. I'm not sure about my intelligence level. But more importantly, jokes aside, you're not talking to me or the examiner. So another important tip for IELTS speaking, especially all parts, but parts 1 and 3, do not use the word you, okay? So don't directly address your listener. We do that naturally in our own language as well to grab and hold the attention of listeners, but it's not good in communication. So do not use the words you, avoid the word we, do not use the word thing and something, okay? All right. Bomit says, yes, actually, because being intelligent means that many people will approach the individual for solving their problems. However, this does reward that person with an increase of self-value. Sure, Bomit, that's a nice answer. I like it. Okay. Joanne Avina says, although being smart is a great trait, some intelligent people use it to do bad actions, such as political economic corruption, which I believe is not a positive for society, as it causes problems for many individuals. Joanne Avina, you use the word thing 1, 2, 3 times. Not good. Okay, Joanne, do not use the word thing in your speaking or writing. This is for everyone. Definitely do not use it 3 times in such a short, relatively short response. You did a good job of using an adjective clause, which I believe. Okay, so that was good. And the other mistake, Joanne, is the double opposition. So you start your sentence with, although being smart is a great thing. Then you continue with, however, some intelligent people. Be very careful not to do that, okay? Use although or however, but not both. Double negative there, very confusing for your listener or your reader, okay? Careful with that. And Joanne, I'm not picking on you. You've done a great job of writing that example, and you're committing a mistake that many students make. So that's a warning for many students. Don't use the word things. Don't use double negatives, okay? All right. I'll put up an answer for you as well. Here we go. Yes, I certainly agree with the idea that being intelligent can be challenging for the individual because much responsibility is often placed on such people by society. A great example of this is Einstein and the government pressure he experienced to apply his intelligence in the creation of weapons of mass destruction, which he gravely disagreed with. Okay, so there you go. Again, you can make up examples. They don't necessarily have to be true, although this one is in this case. Repeat after me. Yes, I certainly agree with the idea that being intelligent can be challenging for the individual because much responsibility is often placed on such people by society. A great example of this is Einstein and the government pressure he experienced to apply his intelligence in the creation of weapons of mass destruction, which he gravely disagreed with. Okay, so that would be an example for that, kind of slipping it in and using some good language there to express fully the answer. Instead of burden, challenging, instead of notion, using the word idea. All right? So here we go. Last question for this set. Keep it up, students. You're doing a great job. And hey, if I missed your comment, don't panic. Don't stress. I'll catch it hopefully the next time. I always try to catch different people's comments. So keep it up, okay? It's practice either way, even if you're not getting feedback at the same time, okay? So here we go. It is often agreed that intelligence is very difficult to measure. Why is this? Okay? It is often agreed that intelligence is very difficult to measure. Why is this? Okay, Simran, subordinating conjunctions is a whole lesson on its own. You can find out lots about that online or on our website at aehelp.com in the bonus writing course. There's a whole section on subordinating conjunctions. Okay. Okay, so it is often agreed that intelligence is very difficult to measure. Why is this? If you don't have an answer, don't panic. You can say something like, and it's okay to do this, although I understand the question, I'm not sure what would be a fitting response. If you don't mind, can we just go to the next question? Okay. I've heard from students at times that they said, I understood the question, but it was just so strange for me or so uncommon that I really had no idea what to answer, and it made me frustrated and I got confused. In that case, don't panic. If you do this once, you can still get a very, very good band score. And it's clear communication. So although I understand the question, I'm not sure what would be a fitting response. If you don't mind, can we just go to the next question? With this question, you might give that, okay? And yes, it's not great to give this answer, but it's okay. Buchmit's asking, can I give that answer? Yeah, absolutely. If you can't come up with an answer, it's better than coming up with something silly or ridiculous, which clearly shows that you have no idea what you are talking about, okay? All right. So Violeta Castro Paredes says, intelligence is difficult to rate because it exists in many different forms, such as spatial, mathematical, and language intelligence. Very good, Violeta. Very nice answer, okay? I made a little bit of a correction there, but that was a great answer, okay? It exists in many different forms. So one more time, Violeta. Intelligence is difficult to rate because it exists in many different forms, such as spatial, mathematical, and linguistic, or language intelligence. Sure, that's very, very good. Lena says, it's difficult to assess because everyone has a different type of intelligence. For example, I'm not very smart when it comes to book knowledge, but I have a great personality and I'm good at building relationships. So I have high inter and intrapersonal intelligence. Very good, Lena. That's called interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligence. Absolutely. Okay. So here is my answer. Well, one reason that intelligence is tricky to assess is because there are arguably many different forms of it, such as spatial, mathematical, artistic, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. I'm not very good at math, but I'm great at building relationships. All right, there we go. It's not special, spatial. Somebody help me out with the spelling of spatial. There we go, T. All right. Okay, so repeat after me. Okay, so if you can come up with the answer, great. Repeat after me. It is often agreed that intelligence is very difficult to measure. Why is this? Well, one reason that intelligence is tricky to assess is because there are arguably many different forms of it, such as spatial, mathematical, artistic, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. I'm not very good at math, but I'm great at building relationships. Okay, good. So that was a great answer by some of the students. Well done, well done. All right. I see many of you, Simran, Sunil, and Eureka, are throwing life vests for my rescue with spatial. Thank you for that. I was having a brain freeze there. And then when you are doing a good job of answering the questions in part 3 and you're going along nice and smooth, you will know this because the examiner will get into a second set of part 3 questions. And here, the second set is let's talk about achievement. Okay? So still related to being intelligent and smart, talking about achievements. And then the examiner has at least another set of questions that they can draw from. So what are some of the greatest architectural achievements of the past 50 years? How about non-physical achievements? Again, the second question will probably come as an interruption or a follow-up question, so be ready for that. And then another one is what is needed for major accomplishments these days that are internationally recognized? And finally, how will the major achievements of today impact future societies? So here are 3 more possible questions talking about achievements. You know what to do. You know that you need to use conjunctions, adjective clauses, examples, so you're always answering, explaining, giving an example. Those last 3 questions, I encourage you to record on your mobile phone, send it to me by email, and I'll let you know what kind of a band approximately you are with those answers. My email is my name, Adrian@aehelp.com. So send your MP3 speaking responses to Adrian@aehelp.com, and I will do my best to respond to you in a timely fashion, give you a band score estimate. Thank you so much for your amazing participation, everyone, in this class. Lots and lots of students, lots and lots of great answers. Don't forget, check us out on our websites. This is the My Student account in your academic IELTS website. The homepage looks like this. You can join the full course there by clicking that red button. You can also try it with the green button for free. And if you want to practice for general IELTS, then do go to this green background at gieltshelp.com. You are very, very welcome, Preeti. Very welcome, everybody who's watching today. Sithalanu, Michael, good contributions today. Joy, you're very welcome as well. Ramil, you are also very welcome. Thank you so much for that very kind compliment. That's very nice of you. Tam Nguyen, very welcome. Much love to all of you. See you tomorrow for reading practice and strategies. Remember, practice makes perfect. For speaking, use your phone, record yourself, listen, correct, re-record. Okay, have a great rest of your day. If it's getting late in your country, rest, sleep well, start tomorrow fresh, full of energy. Bye for now, everyone. Much love to all of you.